What's up, everybody? It's 2024 and we're starting the year off with gifts, free gifts. Shout out to the people at Alloyman that sent us this buffer to try out. We're not going to do a legit unboxing because I already opened it and I buffed a whole car with it because I wanted to see how the tool really was, but I'm gonna go ahead and open it so you guys can see what's inside. So it's got what most buffers have. They send you these pads. These are probably, some wool pads, some foam pads. These are cool, but we don't use any of these pads. I do like that it came with a 7-inch disc and then a 6-inch disc, which is really cool, but we don't use these either, so we're not gonna use those. It also came with some 120, with some 120 grit. We don't use this either. And then a handle, some tools, and then a little instruction pamphlet. So like I said, we don't use any of this, but this is awesome for the DIYer, people at home. You can definitely use this and get a good result when using those pads and stuff, if you know how to use it correctly. This is the type of pad that we use, and we use a quick release. So this just comes like with the threaded piece, and then you screw these pads onto that threaded piece like that. But since we don't use this, like I said earlier, we screwed in our 3M quick release, and this is the the wool pad that we use for buffing, and it just clips in like that. So if you want to upgrade your buffer, you can do that. So the first thing I noticed about this buffer is that it is a lot lighter than the buffer that I use. And as I used it, because like I said, I buffed a whole car with it, as I used it, I could really tell that it's a lot lighter compared to the one that I use now. So as of the few hours that I have in using this, this is definitely going to be the one that I'm going to grab before anybody else at the shop. I really like it. I really like that you can see here it has obviously variable speeds. It goes from 1 all the way to 7. I really like that the 1 is really slow. A lot of times you'll buy buffers and you'll put it on 1 and it'll still be really fast, and then you got to pull out a mini buffer or an electric one or a battery, or you got to pull out something smaller with less power to get like those real tight, dangerous areas. But this goes really slow on 1, so I like that because I can get in there without having to jump back and forth to the small buffer. I like that. It feels really good in my hands. I really have zero complaints in it. It's actually not as loud as the other buffer that I use. And yeah, I really like it. The only thing that I'm not a big fan of is this button right here. I use this a lot. We do a lot of restoration work, so I keep it going for a long time. The point of that, or the purpose of that button, is for when you push the trigger. Obviously you push it, you let it go, and it works and it stops. If you push this button, then the buffer will keep on going, and that's helpful if you're doing a big area. You just push it, you keep it going, and then you just work your area without having to constantly be pushing down on this. The only thing I don't like is that this is a little tricky. You kind of got to get it at the right spot. You know, when the trigger right here is at the right spot, you got to push this in. But after a little while, you'll get used to it, and it's not a problem. Other than that, I have like zero complaints. I think it feels really good. Like I said, I did a whole car. It never died out on me. Sometimes they'll go up and down in revolutions. They'll just get kind of weird when they get hot. This one, yeah, no issues. And we'll show you the car that I buffed in a little bit just so you can see the size of it and how it came out. But just to give you guys a demonstration, I'm going to show you guys how it does on this carbon fiber hood. Like I said, we're going to use this 3M wool pad, and we're going to use Wizard's Mystic Cut for the initial cut on this thing. So I'm just going to do an area. Maybe I'll just go right here. I'm going to do a square, and then y'all can see, y'all can hear it, and then we'll just go from there. So I'm just going to put it on 2 is good, 2's comfortable, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it on 3. That way we can get it to polish a little bit quicker, and then we can talk about it. All right, I'm gonna give it one more and I'm gonna show you guys how this little button works real quick. I mean, it's good right there, but I wanna show you guys a little bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and push that button down so y'all can see how it runs by itself without me having to push the trigger. All right, so we got it going. I'm gonna push the trigger right here, or the button. So see, I'm not pushing the button at all. I'm just holding the back part and it's going by itself. Now for it to stop, I just put the trigger again, push the trigger, and it'll stop. I don't know how loud it sounds through the camera, but it's really not as loud as my my other two buffers, and it's a good machine. I'm gonna wipe this down so y'all can see what it looks like. All right, so that's our review for this tool. I'm happy with it. This is definitely gonna be my go-to buffer from here on out. Huge shout out to Alloyman Tools. You can purchase this tool on alloymantools.com, or you can go and get it on Amazon. And yeah, thank you guys so much for sending us this. Like, we really enjoy it. We're really happy with it, and we hope everybody has a happy 2024.